Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Video number 2. Thank you so much for coming back. Today I'm going to be making a little polymer clay jack-o'-lantern. These are going to be made out of Sculpey, and it's going to be a series of 3. So today we're starting with our somewhat creepy little jack-o'-lantern. I'll be talking a bit about process and mixing in some casual conversation. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you prefer no commentary at all, just no shop talk, or no filler conversation. These videos are for you, so I want to share my work in a way that you find most interesting. As you can see, I start with a foil base. There are a couple of reasons for this. A big one is to cut down on cost of production and overall product weight, so when I move to sell these, I can lower the price a bit. There's also a practical reason for foiling under your clay, and that's to add an extra level of structure and flexibility. You'll find that you can bend and squish it more easily, something you'll see me do specifically with this jack-o'-lantern later in the video. For those who haven't worked with Sculpey, you'll see me knead and work the clay in my hands before applying it. This warms it up and makes it a little easier to manipulate, especially at this stage with the foil underneath. I don't want to squish it just yet. I want to keep that extra space in there, so later down the line if I do need to bend or squish it, I have that option. Otherwise it would become too rigid, which would negate part of my intention for using the foil. Please excuse my messy desk, by the way. It's a work in progress. Although I hope you enjoyed getting a little peek at my heavily used Mercy mousepad. My husband gave it to me. What a champ. She's got her badonk up in the air, and I love it. I'm trying to match the wonky shape from my reference, which is actually an illustration I'm working on, and I had it open on my screen while sculpting to use as a reference. Hopefully I'll finish that illustration this spooky season. It has several jack-o'-lantern faces in it, 3 of which we'll be creating in this series. Happy, sad, and of course this creepy one. Here you go, guys. This is me squishing. Squish, 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 squish. One thing I decided to do was to create the stems separately from the base. I thought about including them in the foil step to make them a little harder to snap off, but it seemed too impractical. And as long as I took care to properly blend it into the base, there really should be no concern of that happening. So tell me, guys, What are you most excited about for the spooky season? What traditions are you guys celebrating? I know you have a lot of them, and I hope to hear about them. I'll be talking about mine soon. But first, these are fantastic. These are actually dentist tools. I don't know if you would even find them at the dentist anymore. I actually went just a couple months ago, and I can't even recall if they had these. I do remember that they had done away with the old fluoride foam technique, thank God, and they had these cordless tools, very interesting. Anyway, these are wonderful for creating delicate details and also very handy for scraping away debris that makes it past the baking stage. You can see I made a boo-boo with this guy. You can get a glimpse of the foil in his eye there. I didn't keep track of my orientation well when filling him with the clay, so when I got to this point, I really had to push and pull and rework his little eyeball hole because I kept poking and working into the foil. Whoopsie. The whole point of me creating a base that was half of the pumpkin, a semicircle, was so that when I carved into the eyes to really create that jack-o'-lantern feature, I would be able to dig in deep and not run into this issue. Whoops. So I don't know about you guys, but I love to watch movies. Halloween movies are my jam, next to decorating, of course. And I'll watch everything from the super cheesy, nostalgic stuff like Halloween Town, all the way to the really gory, horrific stuff, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th, really you name it, I'll watch it. And I used to watch like everything. I plowed my way through all of the series, all of the movies, but after I met my significant other, bless his heart, he's so wonderful, I haven't watched as much. He can't watch horror films. They actually give him really, really bad, horrific nightmares. So I have to watch them alone and by myself if I watch them at all. And after so many years of, trying to be careful of when I watch them, I grew into the bad habit of not watching them anymore. So I'll go through all of those I used to, and I'll still watch at least the kitschy stuff and the, not as horrific items. One of the things that, of course, I have to do with the spooky season is decorate. I am not, how do I put this? I am not a full force DIY hobbyist with fully decorated house and all the bells and whistles and works, because let's be honest, most of my spare time is spent working on this kind of stuff or my illustrations or, getting on that hustle to get found. But I definitely have my favorite Halloween decorations, my little wreath on the front door with the skulls and the black ornaments. I have my caution tape that I occasionally put out, although my new house is really smaller, so it's kind of hard to discern where I want to put that up as decoration. Tiny little pumpkins and paper lanterns and, anything that I can get my hands on that's fun and part of the season, I'll throw up because it just makes life a little more joyful in my opinion. Oh, one day I'll get used to working in front of a camera, I promise. There will come a time soon when I stop working off screen. What kind of things do you guys put up for Halloween? Do you guys put up lawn ornaments? I did get, oh my god, I got these really cute cats, like these little black cats, and they've got glow-in-the-dark skeletons on them, so you're supposed to put them out in front of your house, and they absorb light in the day, and then when it gets dark they glow, so all you see is the skeletons of the cats. So cute. But we're right next to a street light, so they do not glow at night at all, so I don't put them out anymore. Do you get the big inflatables? Those things are insane. I can't imagine what your power bills are like running those. Look at him. He's so creepy and so happy. We love him. And do you guys do Halloween parties? I haven't been to a Halloween party since college. I did go to a couple Halloween parties in college, very low key. Although I never went to the school's Halloween party, something always came up. Probably work, honestly. Let's be real. I had that hustle going. Anytime that I wasn't at school, I was picking up shifts so that I can continue to fund myself as I went to college, because, you know, it wasn't the typical campus experience, you know, where your parents shell out all the money and you get housing and you get, you know, a cafeteria budget. It was not. This was much more like, welcome to the real world. We're going to make sure that you know how to survive when you leave here, which was good, but, you know, meant that I didn't get to do the fun college things that a lot of other people got to all the time. I tried as best I could, and I did. Like I said, I went to a couple Halloween parties. They were fun. And before that, it was only the Halloween parties that I was hosting in high school, which were terrible and cheesy. Guys, I am not a party animal. I can appreciate the party side of things, but I'm not a party animal. I am a let's play video games and eat as much junk food as we can, watch terrible movies or really good movies depending on the vibe, and just laugh and like have a good time. It was like, I don't know if anybody else listens to Bo Burnham, but it's that Bo Burnham song, you know, high school party, senior year. None of that happened because I wasn't invited. And I'm okay with not having been invited. I'm really happy with how the stems turned out. I feel I was able to get a great deal of texture into them, which is really gratifying and made the painting step so much easier, which I haven't finished yet, but I'm getting really close to. I'll tell you one thing I don't like, guys. Low-key, not related to much of what we've talked about other than watching movies. Again, you know, I'm a film, TV buff. At least I was when I had the time to watch. But these remakes, guys, these remakes and revamps and resurrections of old series have all been god awful. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really I want them to stop. I'm sure everybody else does too. There are plenty of people out there with original ideas, and it just seems mind-blowing that we can't get off this hobby horse of needing to regurgitate old successes, because it doesn't work. Nightmare on Elm Street did not work. Chucky did not work. I mean, Scream, I can only attest for the most recent requel, I believe is what they coined it, in the Scream movie, and that actually was really good. I didn't see the one after that, but I heard it was decent enough, although I did have some plot holes that I wanted to poke in there. Regardless, it was true to the original form, and we don't get many of those, so I do have to give that boy some credit there. That was a good requel. But there's not much else, if you think about it, in the ways of remakes of horror films. So they just need to stop and look for more good ones. Maybe give some of these B movies that don't have the funding for actual prosthetics and special effects some light. They're good stuff. I think that's going to wrap us up, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope you had fun chilling and chatting with me, and please join me for the next one where we will look at, I think we're going to do our happy pumpkin. Yay, happy pumpkin. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.